Although much of our oceans remain unexplored and unmapped, what we've already discovered beneath the waves is enough to haunt our dreams. The mysteries that lurk in the depths suggest there could be even larger and more unsettling creatures hidden in the darkness. With that in mind, here are 15 real-life sea creatures that are truly terrifying. Number 15. Faceless cusk eel. This haunting fish looks like it has swum straight out of a horror movie. That's right, this faceless cusk eel is rarely seen, but when you do lay your eyes on it, the image will be burned into your memory forever. Thanks to its tiny eyes and hidden mouth, this unsettling eel looks like it has no face at all, giving it an alien appearance that definitely won't win at any deep-sea beauty pageants. The faceless cusk eel lives between 13,000 and 16,000 feet under the ocean's waves and relies on sensory organs in its head to navigate the darkness. It was first discovered during the voyage of the HMS Challenger ship, which was the first-ever global oceanographic expedition back in 1874. It was never seen again until over a century later, when researchers stumbled upon the eel during an expedition off Australia's east coast. It's believed that this species of cusk eel, while rarely ever spotted, is actually widely distributed, from the Arabian Sea all the way over to Hawaii. That's right, these things are everywhere. Not having a face doesn't seem to hold this fish back at all. Number 14. Piranhas. Translating to tooth fish in the native Tupi language of Brazil, the piranha is a legendary creature that's featured in countless horror movies and slasher flicks. But there's nothing fictional about this scary sea creature. The piranha has one of the most powerful bites of any fish and can easily shred its victims into ribbons. They're famous for working together in large groups to quickly dispatch their prey and can rip through a massive mammal in just a few seconds. Yet the Amazon River is an extremely dangerous place thanks to these two-foot terrors. If you listen carefully, you may even be able to hear them barking to warn off any attackers that come too close. These little fellas are like the hyenas of the water. Just look at those razor-sharp fangs. Just a few minutes later. Number 13. The megamouth shark. This terrifying species of shark grows to a staggering 23 feet long, but it wasn't actually discovered until 1976. Yet the megamouth shark sure knows how to stay out of the limelight. Only 100 specimens of this rare shark have been recorded since it was first found off the coast of Oahu, Hawaii, when the giant fish became tangled in cables near a U.S. Navy research vessel. It was called the megamouth due to its enormous mouth, vast head, and large rubbery lips. Scientists even reckoned that its lips could be bioluminescent, allowing it to attract prey in the darkness of the deep ocean. Glow-in-the-dark lips? Now there's something we've never seen before. This totally unique shark has a massive head that's even bigger than its abdomen and is the only member of the genus Megachasma. What a phenomenal sea creature. Number 12. Atlantic wolf fish. This gigantic fish is super rare, and that can only be a good thing because it's utterly petrifying. Yet the Atlantic wolf fish can grow to 5 feet long and weigh around 50 pounds and is found in the North Atlantic Ocean all the way down to the Mediterranean Sea. Their numbers have dropped dramatically over the last few decades, and there's only a small amount left in our oceans. They have a long, cylindrical body and resemble a giant eel, except this eel has teeth. Yeah, the wolffish has 4 to 6 fang-like teeth that hang out the front of their mouths, with several rows of blunt teeth in their jaws. They use these crushing fangs to crunch down on crabs, lobsters, prawns, and other shellfish, and will even snap at a human given the chance. This now rare Atlantic wolffish also has a very unique way of coping with the icy cold waters that they live in. Their bodies are filled with antifreeze. Yet this amazing antifreeze keeps their blood moving fluidly in the frigid waters, so they can swim around terrorizing shellfish to their heart's content. What a life! Number 11. Bloody bellycomb jelly. The blood belly jelly might look like a squishy blob of jello, but it's actually a vicious predator. The team over at Monterey Bay Research Aquarium posted disturbing footage of this strange alien creature to YouTube, giving ocean enthusiasts all over the world nightmares for the rest of their lives. This strange ctenophore is only 6 inches long, but that doesn't stop it from finding bite-sized victims deep under the ocean's waves. It's called the blood bellycomb jelly because of the deep red shade it's evolved to mask the glow of any bioluminescent prey it eats, allowing it to remain invisible to other predators. When researchers first spotted the blood belly jelly, they were mesmerized by the way it shimmered in the submersible's lights, almost as if it were made of stained glass. Its transparent body reveals a haunting, blood-red core that pulses with every movement, making it look like a living heart drifting through the darkness. The jelly's tentacles are lined with sticky cells that can snare unsuspecting plankton and tiny fish in an instant. Sometimes, it drifts motionless, waiting for prey to swim right into its trap before snapping its tentacles shut. Scientists have observed that the blood belly jelly can change its swimming patterns in response to light, darting away from anything that might threaten it. In the pitch-black depths, its eerie glow is both a warning and a lure, confusing predators and prey alike. Some divers have described seeing flashes of rainbow colors ripple across its body, a mesmerizing sight that's both beautiful and unsettling. Despite its delicate appearance, this jelly is a master of survival in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Yeah, if any glow-in-the-dark sea creatures come looking for their missing friends, they won't be able to find them. The blood bellycomb jelly, however, does possess the ability to put on its own awesome light display. Hair like cilia all over its body diffracts and refracts light, allowing the freaky jelly to move swiftly through the water. Pretty creepy if you ask us. Now it's time for today's topic. Most of our oceans are still unexplored and unmapped, but we've already discovered under the sea is already enough to give us nightmares for the rest of our lives. Who knows what bigger and spookier creatures might exist in the shadows? With that in mind, here are 15 terrifying sea creatures that actually exist. In the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean, a diver operating an underwater drone stumbled upon a discovery so extraordinary that it was initially kept hidden from the public. The drone, sent to explore a deep trench, captured footage of a massive, unidentified creature that seemed to emerge from the ocean floor itself. The creature, with a rough, rock-like exterior and jagged ridges along its back, moved slowly but deliberately. Its body was massive, resembling a living relic from prehistoric times, with fins that looked more like ancient armor plates than anything seen in modern marine life. The footage also revealed a long, whip-like tail that trailed behind it, stirring up clouds of sediment as it moved. The diver, shocked by what he had captured, chose to report the discovery to authorities rather than release it publicly. Officials and marine experts reviewed the footage and urged him to keep it classified, warning that such a revelation could cause widespread panic. "This is something the world isn't ready to see," one official reportedly said. Months later, unable to keep the secret, the diver anonymously released a few photos. The images have sparked global debate, with some calling it proof of an ancient, undiscovered species, while others dismiss it as a hoax. The full footage remains hidden, leaving the world to wonder what truly lies in the ocean's darkest depths. Number 10. Deep-sea zombie worms. Zombies in the ocean. Whatever's next. Yeah, Ostax worms are the real-life zombies that live 10,000 feet deep in the sea. But these zombies don't crave brains. They love to feast on bones. These 1 to 3 inch monsters were first discovered in the skeleton of a rotting gray whale, baffling marine biologists across the globe. There are 26 species of these worms, and they're all seriously disturbing. When a whale carcass sinks to the ocean floor, it becomes a banquet for ostax, which swarm the bones in a matter of days. Their feathery, flower-like plumes wave in the current, helping them absorb oxygen as they work. Some scientists have even called them bone-eating flowers because of their strange, colorful appearance. The worms' root-like structures can tunnel deep into the hardest bones, leaving behind a honeycomb of empty tunnels. Ostax worms have been found on the remains of everything from whales to fish, and even ancient marine reptiles. Their presence is so efficient that a massive whale skeleton can be stripped clean in just a few months. Deep-sea cameras have captured eerie footage of these worms writhing in the darkness, turning the ocean floor into a scene straight out of a horror movie. Despite their creepy habits, ostax play a crucial role in recycling nutrients and keeping the deep-sea ecosystem in balance. For a start, these deep-sea zombie worms don't have any mouths or any guts, and they feed using a unique root system that drills into the bone and digests the fats and proteins. Only the female worms perform this unusual drilling technique, and the tiny male specimens actually live inside of the female. Researchers actually found 111 males living inside one female. The sinister zombie worm secretes an acid from its skin that dissolves the bone, allowing them to access the delicious collagen trapped inside. We don't know about you, but we're pretty glad that these deep-sea zombie worms only live thousands of feet below the ocean and nowhere near the water that we swim in, or at least we hope that's the case. Number 9. World's most toxic sea urchin. The flower urchin might sound like a lovely creature, but it's actually the most toxic sea urchin on the planet. Their scientific name means toxic foot, and they're covered in tiny little claws, each one embedded with deadly toxins. If you're stung by one of these small flower-like feet, you could become paralyzed and even stop breathing. In fact, one reported case saw a human victim paralyzed for 6 whole hours. Some snorkelers have mistaken the flower urchin's delicate appearance for a harmless sea blossom, only to discover its true nature the hard way. The pain from a sting is said to be excruciating, described by survivors as a burning sensation that radiates through the entire limb. Local fishermen in the Pacific Islands have passed down stories for generations, warning children to never touch anything that looks too pretty on the reef. Scientists are fascinated by the urchin's venom, which contains a cocktail of neurotoxins and hemolysins that can disrupt nerve signals and destroy red blood cells. In some cultures, the flower urchin is even used in traditional medicine, though handling it is always risky. Marine photographers often seek out the urchin for its striking looks, but they use long lenses and extreme caution. Occasionally, predators like triggerfish will attempt to eat the urchin, but even they have to be careful to avoid its venomous spines. The flower urchin's ability to blend in with its surroundings makes it a master of disguise, lurking in plain sight among the coral. Each claw has a sharp hook that produces venom, and they're powerful enough to pierce through human skin and even latch itself onto your body. Divers, beware. They're widespread across the tropical Indo-West Pacific Ocean, so watch out for these sneaky little flowers. They've been known to hide themselves by covering themselves in rocks and debris, making them even harder to spot. How can something so beautiful be so dangerous? Number 8. Giant Pacific football fish. This dark, creepy fish can usually only be found thousands of feet into the ocean. However, beachgoers in California were in for the fright of their lives when one washed up on the shore of Crystal Cove State Park in Laguna Beach. This rare and terrifying fish is known for its jet-black scales and football-shaped body, as well as its razor-sharp teeth, and seeing one in the flesh is extremely rare indeed. It's not known how this giant Pacific football fish ended up so far from home or how it died, but researchers are excited to see one up close and personal. Some witnesses described the fish as looking like something straight out of a horror movie, with its gaping mouth and glassy eyes staring blankly at the sky. Children on the beach screamed and ran to their parents, while curious onlookers snapped photos and videos to share online. Marine biologists rushed to the scene, eager to examine the specimen and collect data that could help unlock the mysteries of the deep sea. The fish's bioluminescent lure, still faintly glowing in the daylight, fascinated everyone who saw it. Rumors quickly spread among locals about what other strange creatures might be lurking just offshore. Some speculated that recent ocean currents or storms might have brought the football fish closer to land than usual. Others wondered if climate change was playing a role in these rare deep-sea visitors appearing more frequently. For many, the encounter was a reminder of how little we truly know about the hidden world beneath the waves. It's one of more than 200 species of anglerfish on our planet and can be recognized by the long bioluminescent stalk that dangles off its head. They use this glow-in-the-dark fishing rod to lure in their prey 300 feet beneath the waves in the pitch-black darkness, and only females possess this dangerous appendage. In fact, male football fish only grow to be 1 inch long, whereas the females will grow to a much larger 24 inches. Not only that, but their enormous mouth can suck up and swallow prey the size of its entire body. Yet the deep sea is a scary place. Let's hope this is the last ocean monster we see on land for a long time. It's called a Pacific football fish, and it's very rare that you actually get to see one. Number 7. The big fin squid. This ginormous squid has to be one of the creepiest creatures in the ocean. This huge sea creature looks more like an alien than a squid, with long, drifting tentacles that can reach 30 feet. These sinister and slender tentacles are positioned at a strange, unnatural angle that makes it look as though the squid actually has elbows. Freaky. Experts think that they use these spooky, thin tentacles to grab victims off the seabed, dragging their long limbs across the floor. The skin of the big fin squid shimmers with iridescent colors, reflecting the faintest traces of light in the deep sea. Its eyes are enormous, perfectly adapted to the pitch-black environment, and seem to glow when caught in the beam of a submersible's lights. Some scientists believe the squid's tentacles are covered in microscopic suckers, allowing it to latch onto anything it touches. The way it moves is almost ghostly, with its arms trailing behind like ribbons in a slow-motion ballet. Deep-sea explorers have described the first sighting as both mesmerizing and terrifying, as if they were witnessing a creature from another world. The big fin squid's body is so delicate that it can be damaged by even the slightest touch, making it nearly impossible to study up close. Its mysterious lifestyle and rare appearances have made it a legend among marine biologists. Some even speculate that there are much larger individuals lurking in the unexplored depths, waiting to be discovered. Imagine this sea monster being the last thing you ever see. Named the big fin squid after their giant fins that take up 90% of their body, this extremely rare animal has only been caught on film a handful of times and lives around 8,000 feet under the ocean's surface. An underwater camera on an oil rig in the Gulf of Mexico managed to capture a breathtaking video of a 26-foot-long big fin squid floating in the darkness, and it's a horrifying appearance that soon launched the footage to viral fame. Yet this eerie creature may be elusive, but that won't stop it from haunting the nightmares of millions of people across the globe. Number 6. Giant sea spiders. Deep under the oceans of Antarctica, South America, Africa, and Madagascar, this sneaky sea spider can actually breathe underwater. Yet the giant sea spider is living proof that you can't escape spiders no matter where you go. Sorry, arachnophobes. Even in the sea, they're full of spiders. These strange sea creatures have spindly legs that grow to about 10 inches long and a sharp proboscis that they use to suck up food on the ocean floor. Some species are so transparent that you can see their insides working as they crawl along the seabed. When threatened, they can move surprisingly fast, scuttling away on their long, delicate legs like something out of a nightmare. Scientists have observed them feeding on jellyfish, anemones, and even the eggs of other sea creatures, using their needle-like mouthparts to pierce and drain their prey. In the icy waters of Antarctica, some sea spiders grow even larger, a phenomenon known as polar gigantism. Their bizarre appearance has inspired countless myths among sailors, who once believed these creatures were the ghosts of drowned mariners. Despite their fearsome look, sea spiders are not dangerous to humans and are more likely to flee than fight. Their unique circulatory system relies on the movement of their legs to pump nutrients and oxygen throughout their bodies. Researchers are still uncovering new species of sea spiders, each more unusual than the last. They're as big as the massive bird-eating tarantula, which scurries around the forest on dry land, and just as horrifying. Weirdly, all of the sea spider's organs are in its legs, and they breathe through their skin, using their straw-like appendage to suck the life out of their victims. Here we were thinking that the spiders up here were spooky. They've got nothing on these ghostly sea creatures. Number 5. Flesh-eating sponge. This carnivorous creature was discovered back in the year 2000 when researchers from the Monterey Bay Aquarium were exploring deep ocean waters off the coast of California. This strange sponge lives over 10,000 feet under the sea and has a voracious appetite for meat. It was named the harp sponge thanks to its unique structure, which gives it the appearance of a harp or a lyre turned on its side. But there's nothing musical about this meat-eating sea monster. Instead of filtering tiny particles from the water like most sponges, the harp sponge actively traps and consumes small animals. Its delicate, branching arms sway gently in the current, creating a deadly net for any creature unlucky enough to drift too close. Once a crustacean is ensnared, the sponge's tissue slowly grows around it, sealing its fate. Scientists were amazed to discover that the harp sponge can sense movement and react to the touch of prey, a rare ability among sponges. The deep-sea environment where it lives is pitch black and freezing cold, making its predatory adaptations even more impressive. Some researchers believe the harp sponge's unique feeding strategy evolved to survive in a world where food is scarce and competition is fierce. Its golden, lattice-like skeleton is both beautiful and deadly, a perfect example of nature's creativity in the abyss. The discovery of the harp sponge has inspired new questions about what other bizarre predators might be hiding in the unexplored depths. This flesh-eating sponge has Velcro-like barbed hooks all over its limbs, which it uses to snatch up crustaceans floating along the deep-sea currents. Who doesn't love a shellfish feast? Yet the harp sponge catches its victims, and its tendrils envelop them in a mysterious membrane that slowly digests its prey. Why do all deep-sea discoveries have to be so sinister? We're not sure. We want to know what else is lurking in the darkness 10,000 feet under the ocean's waves. Number 4. Hagfish. It's slippery, it's sticky, and it's gross. We are, of course, talking about the notorious hagfish. This strange, alien sea creature has no teeth and no bones and resembles a small jelly-like blob. In fact, they're actually the only animal on the planet with a skull and no spine. These disgusting fish may be blind, but they can only rely on their powerful senses to help them hunt down their victims in the perpetual darkness. When threatened, a single hagfish can fill a bucket with slime in just a few minutes, clogging the gills of any predator that dares to attack. The slime is so unique that scientists are studying its properties to create new, super strong materials for use in everything from bulletproof vests to biodegradable plastics. Fishermen who accidentally catch hagfish often find their boats and equipment coated in the sticky goo, making cleanup a nightmare. Despite their unappealing appearance, hagfish have been considered a delicacy in some cultures, especially in Korea, where they are grilled or stewed. Their skin is also used to make eel leather, a surprisingly durable material for wallets and belts. Hagfish can survive for months without food, slowing their metabolism and patiently waiting for the next meal to drift by. They are masters of escape, able to tie their bodies into knots to gain leverage and wriggle free from tight spaces or predators. Some researchers believe hagfish have remained almost unchanged for over 300 million years, making them true living fossils. Their strong sense of smell and touch allows them to find food on the ocean floor. Once they've found their prey, they'll begin using their bizarre bodies to tunnel through the animal, eating from the inside out. Yikes, that's a nasty way to go. The hagfish's favorite meal of all time is a rotting carcass lying on the seabed, and this slimy, limp fish is actually extremely important for the ecosystem of the ocean, clearing up dead bodies wherever it goes. As for anything that has a stomach strong enough to try and eat the hagfish, this slimy sea creature has a disgusting defense system that has its predators swimming away in revulsion. The hagfish will produce an enormous amount of slimy goo, allowing it to slip and slide out of an attacker's grip before tying itself up in a knot to clean itself off again. That's enough to put anyone off their dinner. Number 3. Cookie cutter shark. This tiny shark may only grow to be 22 inches long, but that doesn't mean it won't take a chunk out of you. The cookie cutter shark is named after the cookie-shaped bites that it leaves on its victims, and relative to their body size, they actually have the largest teeth of all sharks. Yeah, even the great white shark can't compete with this mini cookie-cutter shark. They use their powerful fangs to take circular chunks of flesh out of their prey and will target sea creatures much larger than them. Even whales can't escape the gnashing teeth of this shark. At night, these sharks migrate closer to the surface, following schools of squid and fish in the darkness. Their bodies are covered in light-producing organs called photophores, which help them blend in with the faint glow of the ocean above and lure in unsuspecting prey. Some scientists believe the cookie-cutter shark's glowing belly acts as a form of camouflage, making it nearly invisible from below. Sailors have reported finding perfectly round holes in the rubber and metal of submarines, baffled by the mysterious damage until the culprit was discovered. The shark's lips form a tight suction seal, allowing it to latch onto its target before twisting its body to carve out a neat plug of flesh. Even dolphins and large tuna have been found with the telltale circular wounds left by these relentless predators. Despite their small size, cookie-cutter sharks are fearless and will attack anything that crosses their path, including underwater cables and equipment. Their feeding strategy is so unique that it has inspired studies into how suction and rotational force can be used in new medical devices. They're such voracious hunters that they actually try to eat ships and submarines, too. They're found in the tropical waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, but luckily, they usually stay in deep water, around 3,300 feet beneath the surface. However, some cookie-cutter sharks have been spotted around 300 feet below the waves in search of food. This parasitic shark doesn't kill its victims. Instead, they'll take a bite and swim away. Yet this shark likes to dine and dash. Weirdly enough, when the cookie-cutter shark sheds its sharp teeth, it will actually swallow and digest the fangs in order to gain calcium to grow big and strong. Is there anything that this strange shark won't eat? Number 2. The Bobbit Worm. You know, we've saved the scariest for last. Yet the petrifying Bobbit Worm is a deep-sea denizen that grows to an alarming 10 feet. If a giant ocean worm wasn't enough to chill you to the bone, then get this, the Bobbit Worm is covered head to tail with nerve-damaging bristles that will send your body into shock. Oh yeah, and did we mention that this sinister worm has teeth? Lurking beneath the sand, the Bobbit Worm waits motionless for hours, its antennae barely visible as it senses the faintest vibrations above. When an unsuspecting fish swims by, the worm explodes from its burrow with lightning speed, snapping its jaws shut in a fraction of a second. Some divers have reported seeing the sand suddenly erupt as the worm ambushes its prey, leaving only a cloud of debris and a vanishing tail. Its iridescent body shimmers with metallic colors, making it look even more alien under the deep-sea lights. The Bobbit Worm's bite is so fast and forceful that it can slice its prey clean in half, and it often drags the remains back into its lair to feast in secret. Marine biologists are still baffled by how this creature evolved such extreme hunting tactics, and some even believe it uses a mild venom to subdue larger victims. The worm's bristles can break off in the skin of anything that tries to handle it, causing intense pain and swelling. Despite its fearsome reputation, the Bobbit Worm plays a crucial role in the ecosystem by keeping populations of smaller animals in check. That's right, the Bobbit Worm has a sharp set of fangs that can split a fish completely in half. That's one powerful bite. We wouldn't like to see what it could do to a human finger. These aggressive sea creatures might seem like monsters, but they're actually much smaller descendants of an even more terrifying ancient creature named Websteroprion armstrongi. Okay, we never thought we'd say this, but we're extremely glad that that beast is now extinct. Imagine an even larger, more powerful version of the Bobbit Worm, yet no thanks. Number 1. Ghost sharks. This spooky shark lives 5,000 feet into the ocean and is so rare that it's only been spotted a couple of times in human history. Yup, just like ghosts on Earth, it's hard to believe that this creepy sea creature really exists, but it most certainly does and has been around for millions and millions of years, predating even the dinosaurs. In the pitch-black depths where sunlight never reaches, the ghost shark glides silently, its translucent fins almost glowing in the darkness. Scientists believe its strange, rubbery snout is packed with sensors that help it detect the faintest movements of prey. Unlike most sharks, the ghost shark's teeth are fused into plates, perfect for crushing the shells of crabs and mollusks hiding on the seafloor. Its haunting, cat-like eyes reflect any glimmer of light, giving it an otherworldly stare that unsettles even the most seasoned divers. Some researchers have even reported seeing the ghost shark perform slow, spiraling dances in the water, possibly as a form of communication or courtship. The creature's skin is covered in a thin, silvery mucus that helps protect it from parasites and infections in the harsh deep-sea environment. Despite its eerie appearance, the ghost shark is not aggressive toward humans and is more likely to vanish into the shadows than confront an intruder. Its elusive nature has made it the subject of countless legends among deep-sea explorers, who consider a sighting to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. This super rare and elusive creature is actually not even a shark at all, but but an ancient ratfish that will strike terror into the hearts of anyone who lays eyes on its eerie blue body. The ghost shark was first caught on camera off the coast of Hawaii using a remotely operated underwater vehicle, providing solid evidence that ghosts really do exist, at least they do in the ocean. There are so many horrifying creatures lurking deep beneath the ocean's waves that it's enough to make anyone think twice about swimming in the sea again. Which of these terrifying animals will haunt your dreams forever? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and hit subscribe for more amazing content from Thought Trail. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.